This little ball of food took me 3 years to make. It is called a kicatugan, and it's a 17th century Japanese recipe that was supposedly meant for ninjas or shinobi to ward off hunger. The original recipe from the Bansen Shukai says that if you eat 3 of these each day, you'll be perfectly healthy and won't be hungry. Quite the claim. So you start by making a mixture of buckwheat flour, millet flour, mashed yam, and rice flour, along with some ground ginseng root, licorice, and koik seed. Those last 3 are a real pain to grind. All of that is mixed, and then the recipe says to soak it in 3 sho of sake for 3 years until it is dried. So I mixed all of that together in a jar to dry out, and I couldn't really cover it or else it wouldn't evaporate, but I was worried that my cats might get into it, so I tied a loose piece of cloth over it at least. And I gave it a stir every few days, mainly because the sake kept separating. After a while, it actually started to ferment with little bubbles coming up from the depths, but eventually as the sake started to disappear, the bubbles stopped and it just turned into a sludge. I really wasn't sure exactly how dry to let this get because there needed to be some moisture simply so I could form them into balls, which the recipe says should be the size of peach pits. And the recipe made hundreds of these little balls, so I decided I would do some experimentation, and some of them I just allowed to dry, some of them I baked in the oven, and a few more I steamed. But how did they taste? Awful. Absolutely awful. The sake flavor was overwhelming and not in a good way, and then they were insanely bitter. The dried ones were really crumbly, the baked ones were really hard, and the steamed ones a little squishy, but they all tasted terrible. Maybe that's why it says that you only need to eat 3 a day, because after 3, I didn't want to eat anything else, mainly because I just lost my appetite. So it was a cool experiment that took 3 years, but definitely not one I'm going to repeat.